Do you want this one up also?
No, that's okay. Yeah. Typically, inside, there's a shape like that. And there's ball bearings, roller bearings, which run around that slot. Now, it's not locked in position. But when it's horizontal, like that...
Can I hold something, or...?
No. When it's horizontal like that, this, of course, is closer to the centre. That is the power going down there. That runs horizontally, and that's your horizontal lift. This brings the roller in to a closer circle. Then you get your horizontal going to a larger pitch circle diameter for the trip down. Now the problem is, when it hits here, noise. And noise is energy being wasted. So I've been playing, and each time I buy a sheet of marine ply at $75. And so you don't want to be doing it for nothing. But what I need to do is the 45 degrees above and below, which you can see marked. At the 45 degree mark, it starts a radius. That's not big enough to make it quiet. It needs to have a larger, softer radius. And I think 4 times the diameter of the roller is called for. At the moment, that radius and the one in there is only 2 times the diameter of the roller, which means the roller is having to change directions too savagely and creates noise. Without anything, any radius, it came down, hit there, stopped, and then would roll in. And so you've got a wheel which goes, ooh, 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 and virtually it was running, but it would pull up at 4 times every turn. Now to try and, when you put the radius on there, to get rid of the noise, it doesn't work anymore. So you've got a conundrum.
We've got 2 problems that I've just sort of sitting back on, maybe you can probably remember. Number 1, it's not material.
Oh yeah.
Why not line the inside of the tank line?
I haven't brought any spanners to pull this apart, but anyone who wants to look down in this will see there are a number of different configurations. I found that the marine ply is better than this one because it's harder material. Yeah. All you need to do is paint it with Estopol, and that soaks into the surface, goes hard, and you've got a hard acrylic surface then. Well, yeah, but I reckon if it's going to work, it's going to have to work with timber as the rolling medium. You can get into doing laser cut or CAD cut things in metal once you prove the principle.
Could you tell us what the purpose of your machine is, please?
Well, you're using gravity. You see, if I just hold that up like that, you'll see that the rollers, and there are 4 of them in there, are rotating. Now, inside of that, there's this sort of shape. And that's where the other part of the roller runs. Now, the big problem with this, when the wheel is coming down, the roller tries to come in as it rotates, until it gets to this position where it's up over the top and then it rolls out. But you always end up, the rollers are too far out. Now what I've done is combine this old idea, which is
Da Vinci. It was a Da Vinci one, that one.
a Da Vinci wheel, yeah, but with a cam which actually encouraged the roller to come in on the way up. And that's what these cams are here. So, in the centre, you've got, see, it wants to go, but it hits hard spots, and when you're here listening, you can hear a rasping sound as it comes to a halt, and then it'll free up and it'll go again. So,
how are you not trying to contradict the theory of the theory that says you cannot create or destroy energy?
You're not destroying or creating energy. In Captain Cook's time, the popular belief was that you could go anywhere in the world with a sailing boat as long as the wind was behind you. And there's a place called Deception Bay up in Queensland, because he thought it was an island. And he sailed into this and found that the island was connected to the mainland. And he was trapped there for months and months and months because the wind was behind him. And eventually he got out of there by putting the longboats out, and the poor beggars had to row and tow the boat out to a point where it could get around the headland and get away. We now know that you can sail against the wind. Now, I look at gravity as a force, an energy, and primarily a flow. How can I explain it? If you get a little paper boat and put it in a stream, it will flow happily down the stream. If you put a fly string into the water, it'll come up. The water can go through, the flow can go through, but the boat is pinned against the surface. Now, if gravity is actually a flow, like an etheric wind, which is pushing us all down until we're pinned on the surface of this earth, if you can just think of gravity differently, it's an energy, it's a flow. And just like wind, just like water, just like anything else, you should be able to harness that and convert it into another form. That's what physics is about. It's not creating or destroying, it's changing an energy into a different form which is usable.
Thank you.
Now,
Bravo, bravo. That's what I believe too.
everyone in history has used 4 of these.
It's only recently car wheels have been changed to odd number spokes.
Yeah.
And balanced,
Yeah.
working
Well. Oh yeah. Well, 4 means that you've got 90-degree quadrants, 45 degrees above and below. And 6 means that you've got 30 degrees above and below, where you're effectively, you've got your full power. Yeah, there are advantages in going to multiple odd numbers, but they're harder to cut. Ian?
Alternative explanation of what's going on. In essence, the weights follow this pathway. I don't think it
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's in essence what the weights do. Now, getting back to some fundamental laws, if I've got this bearing here, I lift it up to here, and then the amount of work I've done will allow me to lift another bearing the same height up in the opposite direction. The amount of work I do to angle this side, so I can get the same amount of work back this side. If we follow the path of this weight, this bearing, we've got this point here, it moves around here, it gives up that amount of energy. No more, no less, gives up. Here, down to there. But in order to get the weight back to there, we've got to move it the same distance back to here. Alternatively, we can take a shortcut and move it back to the same spot where it came from. And the amount of work it releases, forget about the curve, is just that. So all we're doing is that. Know that, irrespective of the leverage. Remember that a few months ago I did this straight frame, and I can put the weight over here, weight inboard, balance. I can put them both the same, move one in. The work done on the right side is the same as the work done on the left side. And I think we've got the same situation here, irrespective of the number of whether you go 5, 6, 7, whether you have a soft cam or a low cam. The work done is this side, is that, and the work required to get the bearing back is the same. So irrespective of whether you go around that way or vertically up.
Can I try to explain what I think I'm trying to do? Now, you've said, and you're quite right, but you see what happens when that roller comes to here, it is rolling horizontally.
But you've still got to lift it back up to that same vertical
Well, it
point.
is, because if it continued where it was going, it would be down here. And so that much of your lift is achieved by rolling horizontally. That's the key to what I think I'm doing. And I have had success. I haven't brought one along that works deliberately because I'm keeping that one under wraps a little bit. But the secret is at the 90-degree mark, you've got 100% of the weight is pressing down on the spider wheel on the inside. And from here to here, the spider wheel isn't required to push it at all. It just runs by itself. And then from there to there, takes very little energy.
But Andrew, you're still lifting at the full height. It doesn't matter whether you go over there, or whether you go vertically up, or you go over there, come back. The amount of work you've done is the amount of vertical lift from where it comes to rest at the bottommost point. So how you get it up to the topmost point. The amount of energy you get back
By
from
magic.
the topmost point down to the lowest point. The path is irrelevant.
I've no intention at all of conducting an argument. What I want to do is build a unit and demonstrate it. And then all of the theoretical objections will be overcome by a practical demonstration. Now, I have a practical demonstration at home, but I chose not to bring that one because it varies from this a little bit. This is the lead up. But the basic principle, if you want to succeed, is harvest your vertical moment at a smaller radius, transfer from the big radius to the small radius more or less horizontally, because that much lift has been created just by rolling the roller horizontally. And the same here, you go from the small radius, again on this one, having come up there, you roll more or less horizontally. One of the ones that I've tried, it is exactly horizontal. But the radius is too tight and you get too much noise. So that's what I'm at. That's where I've been experimenting. And you can just listen to the sweet sound. Anyone's welcome to come up and have a look at it after the meeting. Yep.
Okay, well, we'll just, someone mind just giving a hand to put that down.